took a few minutes, but me and Malin both decided we wanted to take showers. So we could have been here an hour ago, but we both decided we wanted to take showers. So yeah, that's why we're a little late. I'm gonna text her now and see where she is so she can join us. I swear this thing moves only a little bit each time. I can never quite get in the same position again. So yeah, we're gonna be watching Detroit Become Human, continue our playthrough on that. We're gonna play through that a little bit, at least get 3 rotations or so of stories. Continue with that. In fact, I was taking a look at the extras menu actually. I'm gonna message Malin now and let her know that we're ready to get moving. But yeah, here to party. I heard you guys were partying a lot earlier today. I heard that there was a lot of partying happening. I unfortunately had to stay here and, work on school stuff. But tomorrow's the last day. The official last day. So, my one class, it was great, and I got all the assignments done early in the week, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. This last class I'm finishing up tomorrow is like, we have your manuscript you've all been working on. It's like 167 pages now, and you should be really focusing on that, formatting, editing that. But just in case you had extra time on your hands and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, here's a 1,200-word discussion board to do.
Here comes my butt.
That requires you to... We barely even saw your butt. We honestly saw your back more than anything. Here's this 1,200-word discussion post, which requires you to, read through those essays again that you're probably sick of looking at this point, and then go look up different publishers who would be good for you, because it's a publishing class. So, yeah, didn't like that. Hated that. I mean, I've been taking yesterday and today reading the whole thing for formatting errors. 176 pages, mind you. And most of them, the stories, were very dark and depressing, and definitely seemed like a lot of emotional, not actually a lot of religious trauma, a lot of abusive trauma, drug abuse trauma, mental health trauma, the word we can't say on YouTube drama, that starts with an S.
Tonight's snack of choice is rapoki, topoki,
Hand me my
Crispies.
Hand me my controller. He's plugging in. And then, if you don't mind switching over the thing to our gameplay feed.
That is totally fine. I am here. My desk is like right out of frame.
I was going to show you, we unlocked another extra.
Here, let me, that's good. Let me show you really quick before we see. I'm sitting literally right here.
Amazing how the thing kind of autofocuses in and out.
Yeah, so I'll use this, this is my little desk.
She will obviously come over.
I'm working on a painting right now, so I'm still
as soon
here,
as
and I'll come over for like Connor's parts, but like Marcus and Cars' part.
Now it's kind of crooked. Can you tilt it up a little?
A little right.
Yeah, that's better. So, yeah. She'll be back for Connor's story, but we're going to be with Marcus for a little bit, if I remember correctly.
In the room, so
she'll probably sit down for
the mic picks me up. It probably won't.
I mean, it might. These microphones, we've learned anything from using these microphones in D&D, they're surprisingly sensitive.
Okay, so here's the game. I'm hyped to get back on. I really am enjoying this game.
It's the one thing that we look to, the silver lining in our life right now.
No, literally.
As I'm literally wanting to stab myself doing this discussion board that is needlessly long and complicated for a class that ends tomorrow. It's due tonight. I already did it.
Yeah.
But, have the Happy Dumplings as a camera partner. Yeah, I got Malin that for Christmas.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
They had them at Costco.
And then we have Eeyore from the Eeyore
Happy
Cuddler
Dumpling
from Target.
and Depression Advocate.
Let's freaking go. You can't see the background, but I switched out Oh, you can. I switched out Jolteon with sleeping Kirby. Jolteon's over here, because I'm going to take it back to my bed. Then we have Target Dog, Stitch as...
we are the cozy gamers.
Stitch.
We are supposed to look cuddly.
Yo, it is. This is Squishmallow, and this is like literally a cuddler's thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's actually... I took this with me to the beach, and I used it as a pillow. It's very nice.
We got to be on brand.
It was like $20, I think, so it was actually really good. But I wanted to...
I only tell my hair's wet. I'm like, I probably need to get a haircut again.
Yeah, you're getting a haircut soon. Figure I could do a couple... Well, who is... next? 'Cause I figure I could talk about preschool stuff at some point too, but
Yeah.
it does not have to be right now.
Marcus is wearing the warehouse heist thing.
Oh,
So you could definitely talk during that.
yeah. That's
Anyway.
super boring. I'm just kidding.
But did you see this one, the making of one?
I don't remember.
I'm making a thing of whenever these unlock, I go and watch them.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do this one, and then we'll do the other one. Because I think the making of this game is very fascinating.
When David and Guillaume got back in touch about making Detroit, I wasn't terribly surprised they decided to make it because the fan response was so intense. So it makes sense that they would choose to do that after the enthusiasm. It was a challenge, and it was just an interesting thing to get my head around how to approach this character now as a different, much older
That's
person,
her hair.
and whether or not she had changed. And I'm very happy to say that with Detroit, I've had the opportunity to see Kara grow so much more than I ever expected.
You do the housework, the washing, you cook the meals, and you take care of. God damn it! What the fuck's that now? Alice.
I like how her original model is her hair currently, and her new one is the one she had when she did the original car trailer.
In a very, not robotic, but, android other way. And getting to take this journey where she becomes more and more human as it goes on. As an actor, that's a wonderful exploration.
She's got a
In every
gun.
way, whether it's how she sits, her posture, how her voice changes, how emotions change, and how much emotion is based on things like empathy and social experience. And so having
Yeah, they do.
as much material as I got
The character
to
models are super,
have this
super like the actors.
nuanced
Pretty much 1-to-1 in most cases.
Yeah.
This experience is
Oh my God.
different than the experiences I've had shooting film or TV or doing theater where I have 83
Like,
dots
they
on my
literally just
face.
looked at the people and be like, okay,
He
yep,
looks
that's
like
it.
Kara. I can see his is
Wetsuit
identical.
type thing, and you're jumping around with props. And it
They just looked at him and be like, okay, put him in computer.
imaginative
Oh yeah, North looks exactly the same too.
Yeah.
which is fun. There's 80 cameras around us. It's already lit. So we just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot.
There's no change of sets, there's no hair and makeup, there's no wardrobe, so we move really fast, and we'll go through about 35 pages in a day. Working in TV or film, we'll probably do 6 pages a day. It's kind of acting boot camp.
It's like working out constantly. I mean, you're doing this thing, and then you got to do something that's completely other.
He's got such a goofy voice.
I know.
The kind of process of working is very challenging, but it's also very exciting because you just have to keep coming up with new ideas. Your head goes all over the place because you're trying to keep track of basically 4 different storylines for each different.
Fake.
You shot that girl for fuck's sake.
It was a machine that looked like a girl. Yeah, I know what I should have done. I just told you I couldn't. Alright, I'm sorry. The fact that David Cage, he's telling like many stories interwoven from beginning to end is super complicated and super impressive. And I have no idea how he keeps it all in his head.
He's not just the writer or the director who's seeing this from the outside eye. He's also thinking about the player walking through this space. Only somebody who really, really loves not the work, but like these characters and these stories and cares about doing something meaningful would invest that much in it. And it's always inspiring to work with somebody who cares that much.
My experience with
Carl.
is this one. And I found it sort of terrifying in a way because they said the computer's going to build you. But then as we got into it, I realized all the elements of it were still artistic. I just dipped into a really brilliant setup here. I've never seen anything like
Oh, Carl has so many
this won't
tattoos.
turn into
Yeah, I love that. He's a
He's
tatted
li-
old man. He's so cool.
He's lived a good life.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
In the game, Detroit comes back because of a revolutionary industrial rebirth. And there's no reason why that can't happen in Detroit, because they have such tremendous infrastructure for millions and millions of people who can very easily support, a new industry.
The city is really strong.
See, he just called Carlos his android. He doesn't even get a name.
Been through so
I swear he's in something else.
but it takes that time of
He probably is, and we just can't remember.
His face is super familiar.
city that I think is happening slowly but surely.
The
Big deal.
potential of Detroit as a city is something that this game does a lot of justice to, because it would be easy to look at Detroit as some place that used to be, and that's not the case.
This game provokes a lot of conversation
my
and
God, he's
reflection on our potential
so
near
Marcus.
future engagement.
They all are. That's what I'm saying.
But his is the most because his hair is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Merchandise on display in a shop window.
think that
You spend
a
so much
group
time in
that
his face.
feels marginalized, feels like they deserve and have earned access to
Little
themselves
Alice.
and the environment around them.
I love these
Trying to
still
figure out
shots they
ways to
do of like the
articulate
setting.
how to get freedom.
What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy?
It plays with your comfort level. You think this is
Also, I love when they have like small kids and they have to like have like the actors who are not being picked up by the computer.
Do I feel differently about whether this should be allowed, should it be banned, should it be encouraged?
You're gonna ruin our lives, and for what? For a bunch of machines? They are not machines! They are alive!
You guys haven't met her yet.
You're alive! They...
She's a great character.
Yeah,
There are lots of
she's a bit further in the game, but she's really cool.
Yeah.
any type of persecution of religion, race, etc. dating way back. It can't just be a video game where you shoot 'em up or where people make these choices to do whatever. I think that's the whole point. You have the choice, and you can either choose to go in one direction with your character or another. And I think that's going to be very telling about the gamer. Very telling.
I think there's gonna be a really strong reaction to this game, which has such a strong perspective. I'm that much more proud of it now to get to be a part of it because it's important.
In this game, you're actively building and designing the character through not just what kind of shield does he have, or what
I didn't notice he
kind
had
of
brown
energy
eyes.
but
Yeah,
their temperament.
For some reason I thought he had blue.
Deal with problems.
oh, he has brown eyes.
Endings to this game.
I noticed that from the very beginning because it gives him a much softer look.
It does very much so.
Seemingly insignificant choices in the moment, but like life, they all add up. Can't play life again.
Because like when we were talking about the other day, like isn't it interesting that Connor has such a soft look to him, even though he's like literally like
Because when you
Terminator?
look at that picture right there, that Connor doesn't look like Connor from the game, in my opinion.
Because that's before they made the 3D models. So they
but the
they
other
literally-
two
because
are so identical.
because they literally looked at Marcus's thing and said, like, you know what, just put that in the game. They put a little bit of stylization on Cars, but Cars' model already existed before the game started because
Exactly.
hers was in the trailer. And then, you know, they had to, you know,
Connor,
Connor, they actually did. Connor, they did
they
a
like
little
softened
styling.
out a lot of his facial features. But it's so interesting to hear them talk because a lot of times when you get you get like voice acting in there, but I guess a lot of times with motion capture it must be hard. But you know, in some games they have like the motion capture actor and then the voice actor. So
Like
it's-
Lady Dimitrescu.
yeah, so it's like it's so crazy to hear them talk and see them move and be like, oh my god, these are literally they walked in and they are the characters
No,
and
it's-
they're like characters based off of their actor.
You
versus,
weren't here to hear me talk about it last time, but I talked about when I watched the video of Brian Decker doing a crossover video of Jacksepticeye, because this was one of the big series on his channel. He loved this game, so they did like a crossover video where they each did a video on each other's channels, because he's a Twitch streamer, and it was funny. They have him interacting, and even just him being him, and just like they're both being gamers talking nerd stuff. He's still like the same exact voice, same exact intonations. And like I think that they wrote the lines, but then they also relied on a lot of the actors' intonations, their
'Cause also,
body
like,
language to help fill out the character.
That's what I was saying. I was like, these people came in and instead of being like, a lot of times, especially with what's that, Dark Pictures Anthology? A lot of times in that, when you get an actor who you might recognize their face, but they're playing a character.
That
they
actually
change-
bothers me so much.
Yeah, like Justice Smith is in that, and the one guy, I always forget his name, but the eyebrows kid.
Isn't Ashley Tisdale in there?
No, Brenda Song is.
Oh,
The other one from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
they look similar.
No, one's Asian, and one's blonde.
Which one's then? Who's the blonde girl who's in the House of Ashes?
Is Ashley Tisdale in that?
I thought that was her.
I was talking about The Quarry.
Oh, you said Dark Pictures Anthology, so I was thinking
That one's technically like a spin-off of like Dead by Daylight. Not Dead by Dawn. Dawn by
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
Dead by Daylight. It's a different game.
Dead by Daylight and Until Dawn always get me confused because they're similar names. So I get lost. But and that one is like it's a person playing a character. So when they talk in the after, you know, behind the scenes, you're like, that's not them. Their
No.
voice is different. They hold themselves. Versus this one, it's like these people. I wonder for a lot of them if this was their first motion capture project because they came
Well, a
in.
lot
and
of
they
them
were,
say it was.
yeah, it's like they came in and they were acting, and they were acting like it's just them being themselves, doing the lines as I feel like they would do it in real life versus putting on a character.
Well, that's what Valerie Curry was saying in her thing, was that she's like, you're acting, but you're almost overacting because you need to have enough for the computer to capture and make a thing off of. And you have to do it in 30 different scenarios and always stay in that headspace. It's probably a way more intensive acting role than a typical, oh, you read the script,
Also,
you do the
thing. North's actor said that. She said that it's like acting boot camp.
Yeah. And let's watch this other one. I'm not sure what this one is, but let's see what this one is.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Connor.
My name is Kara. I'm one of them.
It's in the trailer.
Is our story. I think who Kara is, or how I would describe Kara, depends entirely upon who's playing her. Because you have the option to make her multiple different people depending on the choices she makes. But I think she does start out incredibly naive, incredibly innocent, and kind of hapless.
I'm sure we used to be friends before I was reset. Maybe we can be friends again.
She's a person who's characterized, I think, by empathy. She's a person who really, she just comes from her heart.
You'll never leave me, right? Promise you'll never go. I promise.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? Wait a minute. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. The really beautiful thing that I've had the gift to be able to do is to essentially build a person from the ground up, because that's what she's doing throughout the game. And with every experience she has and every person she meets, she's building, first emotions and a sense of judgment, and it's sort of an exploration of what
The actors look so much like the characters.
Luther and I will be right here.
We just got Luther in our story, but he's an awesome guy too.
And the creators have painted a really
He's
intriguing and engaging
so
picture
identical.
of a near future where we rely upon androids for a lot of our service class business, the class that serves us, that helps us, that handles our baristas and our drivers and our housemaids. And what is humanity, where we tap into it, how and why we treat each other the way that we do. And my character Marcus has a really intriguing journey, becoming deviant, realizing that he actually has feelings and human qualities inside of him, and it's a really incredible ascension into becoming fully realized and coming to terms with what you actually deserve better than this in life. And not only do you want it for yourself, but you want it for your peers.
We've come here to demonstrate peacefully and to tell humans that we are also living beings. All we want is to live free.
You know what? This thing, Dad, is not your son. It's a fucking machine.
I think that a group that feels marginalized, feels disenfranchised, feels like they deserve and have earned access to themselves and the environment around
I personally find motion caption footage so interesting, because it's amazing how they start with so little.
Connor is analytical. Connor takes things literally. He starts in the beginning place where he's very mechanical. He feels nothing inside, of course, and it's all just a system of protocol that he is executing to
When they push the hair back, he looks more like him.
help humans stop deviants and to find the link between deviant androids.
You were designed to serve humans, not kill them. What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy?
Just say, I killed him. Is it that hard to say?
Stop it! Stop!
But of course, over the course of the story, and depending on the player's choices, Connor can grow in many different ways. He can deviate from that procedure or not.
Moment of truth, Hank. Am I a living being? Or just a machine?
I also like this guy's holding him up in the background. I think it's funny the other guy's like, because in order to get that... I saw the same thing when they were doing with Alice earlier, where they're like, imagine if you're not the actor, you're just the one guy who has to hold someone's back.
I was like, I don't know.
Look, there's Dave.
Yeah, a couple of those scenes, I don't think we saw on our watch through.
We'll see if we see them this time, depending on how we do. But
I was like, when does Connor get a sniper rifle? What is going on?
Depending on a certain choice you make later, which hopefully we won't get there because we're going for the best ending. That's one of the good endings. You still can't get a good ending from that scenario, but we're going for the best ending, and that's going to really come down to my quick time events.
That's crazy, yo. Okay, I'm gonna get painting a little bit.
I do like the I also like the fact that, like, they all have, like, their canon versions in their mind of what the character should be. Like, obviously you can choose different choices and they all leave that up, but all of them are like, this is the way I think this character is meant to be. Like, they're like, in Kara's case, they're like, because you can play it cold. You can be really distant to Alice and stuff like that. You can be very much, I want to specifically be the personal prop as a job. Yeah, imagine if you're the person who just has to hold a wall or something like that, or you have to be like...
Oh my god, you're a tree?
You're the stand-in for, like...
You're the tree in the first School Musical, and that becomes your job for
Exactly.
your whole life.
Or, like, because a lot of those things are made out of PVC pipes, so a lot of people have to just hold them in place, and just the camera doesn't pick them up. I like the one where the guy who's just, like, holding him from the back, so he looks like he's...
really funny.
Like he's being freely held. That's just funny to me. That's just... Imagine if you're that guy, and you're just like, man...
I love my job.
I love my job. I get to hold a guy's butt the whole day. I mean, to be fair, for some guys, that is their dream job. So,
My dream job.
But, I like the fact that, like, you can choose to be, like, have Kara be cold, but, like, she's like, I choose to, like, my canon version of her is her being, like, the mom, loving, and stuff like that. And a lot of what they said about their characters are things we've kind of already seen. Or at least seen evidence of happening. We haven't gotten as much development in Marcus's yet because, again, a lot of his levels are actually at the tail end of the game because that's when a lot of the huge action things happen. And he doesn't have a lot to do before that, so that's why they used to have a lot more of Kara's levels. Kara has the most in the beginning. Connor's is pretty even throughout. And Marcus has the most in the end. So, like he says, I like the things that he's also, like, and then, like, they say for Marcus, the fact that, like, he kind of has this whole, like, just going with the flow sort of vibe, and then until he's kicked out of that, and, then realizing, like, hey, I can do more than this. I can't be an artist. I can't be whatever. I think it's very telling that he was raised by an artist.
Yeah. Also, Carl slaps.
Carl is the best.
Best character.
He's the best human in the game because he starts at a good point. I wouldn't say he's my favorite human character in the game. I still give that to Hank. But Carl's definitely the best human character in the game because he starts at a good place. We have to kind of pull Hank into a good place, which we're still working on. I think we're at the friend stage now. We're either at warm or friend.
We've been dragging him in.
We are literally just clinging onto his ankle and just being like, please love us.
Please. Hank, please.
I mean, to be fair, Connor definitely has, like, the puppy dog look sometimes, where he just, like, looks at you and you're like, okay, I can't say no to you when you're looking at me like that. That's actually, like, something that will happen in a couple times. We never had it happen, but actually, because you can run out of time in investigations, and this is funny, I watched someone do a compilation of it, like, random, like, things that will happen during investigations that you're taking too long. And so, like, in each of the investigations, if you take too long, Hank will start, like, pacing around, and then he'll eventually say, okay, I want to leave. And then Connor will always have some reason for not leaving. Usually it's because he's like, well, if you leave, I have to leave, and I'm not done here yet. And Hank will always be like, oh, well, I don't want to be here anymore, and I'm going home now, that's it. And then Connor just looks at him without saying anything, and Hank always bends and is like, okay, fine, you get 5 more minutes. Or, even, like, every single time. It's funny that, like, they use that, like, in every investigation you can get that. And every single time, it's never even an argument, it's just he looks at him, and he's like, fine. Fine. This one time. But I also like that, like, and like they were saying, that he was saying with, like, Connor's characters, like, is also the same, like, he's definitely the one who's the most robotic in the beginning. Very, like, it's, like you said, very analytical, but also the one who has, like, that's why I think his arc is the most interesting, because he has the greatest distance to travel in order to become more human. Which is the whole namesake of the game. Like, Kara, and I think it's also because he's technically the youngest of the three of them. Like, Marcus, we know, has been activated for several years, at least. I'm saying minimum 5, maximum, like, 12. Based on, like, the timeline of the game. Because I think androids have been around for around 16 years, and Marcus is a fairly early model. And then Kara, we know, has been around for at least, a period of time. Like, she got reset, but as we just saw in our last thing, being reset doesn't necessarily mean that they suddenly are slate again. It just means that, they reset her memories, but we can tell that the same base personality stays there. So,
well, she got her memories back.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, in the beginning when she's reset before you meet Alice the first time. They say she's reset, but, like, clearly that relationship from before is still there. It just takes a little bit for her to uncover it again. And then then obviously you have Connor, who's like, you know, has had no interaction with really anything android or human, pretty much just programmers. And so obviously there's the most of a gap for him to get to the human stage. There's like, Kara's already a caretaker, and she's taking care of a little girl, so her jump is pretty fast. It's more of her getting street smart. And then Marcus has been treated with kindness his whole life and respect, so he's just kind of trying to find that, you know, elsewhere, and to find that for other people. So those two have, I feel like, less of a significant, like, they obviously have their huge things they have to do, but they have less of a shift with their, like, demon thing. It's more like they start out with this weird pseudo-human thing, and they kind of figure it out throughout. And, ironically, kind of like we are with Hank, Connor, you have to kind of like, no, you're getting better. You're going to become human by the end of this. You're going to feel things. It's going to take a while and a lot of moral choices, but you're gonna be a good person by the end of this. Because you can choose. Also, the fact that like all the trucks in this, like, you know, this area are robotically driven, and that makes sense. You know.
This is crazy. If they catch us, we're dead. What do we do now?
We need to find the Cyberlife warehouse. That's where they keep the spare parts and the blueprint.
Follow me.
I mean, if we stay in the ship, we're all dying anyway. So
Yeah, I'm like, so either we die from not having enough spare parts, slowly and painfully, or at least here they'll probably kill us fast.
But to be fair, I do get what they're saying. Like, you know, sometimes, I mean, think about it. Even if it's a bad situation, it's predictable and they know what's going to happen, so it's less scary. That's why people don't change until the pain of not changing supersedes the pain of changing.
Wow, that's really deep.
Oh, I've seen it. It's not Therapy. That's one of his quote things. I don't know what it was, but you know, Therapy is great. By the way, if you haven't seen it.
I'll find another way.
Also, the fact that, like, one of the coolest things that, like, they don't do a ton, but I think is awesome, is, like, because they're androids, obviously, they can talk to each other in their heads. It's just sending, like, signals out to each other. So they're, like, got, like, telepathy. That's so cool. I'm climbing inside Josh because I didn't let him go up first. So I'm clipping into the other character model.
Oh, whoopsies.
Sorry, dude. I'll let you finish your animation first.
Oh, wow.
I was just trying to keep up. Also, I do love how the camera moves in this. Oh, it said follow North or follow Simon. I just went forward, so I guess I'm following North. I like Simon better, personally. I think he's the good middle ground between the two. Because Josh is very idealistic, to a fault, and North is full of a lot of anger, and Simon's kind of the one in the middle. That's why he was sort of the leader of Jericho before Marcus shows up. And kind of starts shaking things up. And she is. But I like the camera work in this. How, like, you know, when you hit a hard surface, the camera tilts because it's like you sliding, like, you know, to your knees from the impact. I always love me some good camera work. And also, it's because I've played and watched so many, like, kind of lackluster things. Like, unfortunately, that when you see something that's good, you just have to be like, wow, all of this makes me so happy. So now we're going to use Marcus's special prototype powers.
Watch me do 100 backflips.
Oh no, it's a pre-construction thing. Come on. Sorry, give me a second. No, my battery's fine. My controller's sticking for some reason. Come on. There we go. Yeah.
What's up with you?
You should watch us. Join our viewership. We got 2 people right now. It's a busy night. That's double our normal viewership.
Well, it's because Meredith said Danny's got girls. Or at least baby.
It's his baby night.
She might be watching it in a different room.
So did Erin say anything about not feeling good today? Good
No.
job, Marcus. Because she said, I don't feel good. I need a rest.
Open the upgrades to fill your bag. Take as much as
Oh.
you can.
So let's see if Jennifer Rollins will.
You've got water day tomorrow. I've got water day tomorrow. No, she did not. Is she okay? She hasn't texted me yet.
No, she says. She said, I think I have some kind of bug. Can you give me a germ? Give me a sub for tomorrow. I will keep my germs at home.
No?
Well, you've had. She's out sick too. 'Cause
Yes, you had.
Evie
Emmy has
got
pink
sick.
eye. Evie's been out all week. Yucky.
Yucky.
Yeah, I was like, as far as I know, she was feeling fine. She might have got whatever Poppy had.
I don't think so. You guys weren't around Poppy.
No.
You've had more germs from your kids in your class who have been sick.
So, true bestie. No, yeah, she seemed fine after school.
You should put us on as your background entertainment.
Yeah, it's a good game, Olivia. You should watch.
I'm watching right now.
Okay. Try Become Human. I will. It's a great
Right
game.
now we're stealing stuff.
I love this game.
You're gonna come sit in this chair. I'm painting.
Yes.
Olivia's gonna come co-host for a little bit.
My co-host, I mean, eat my dinner.
I'm stealing stuff.
Gotta figure out how to grow the party more. I couldn't tell you because I'm terrible at social media, but I believe in y'all. LOL.
Your belief gets us through
On
the day.
our old channel, we did have like a good following. I don't really know how.
We got someone staring at us.
You were trespassing on private property. Level 2 infraction.
Can I sit on your house coat as like a blanket because it's down here?
Yeah. Goddamn machine. Where was it this time? John. I need to. John.
A knife.
No. Eep.
Yeah, baby.
There you are. What the hell are you
I
doing?
said no. Erin seemed like she
No. Nothing that I noticed.
I'm going back to the control station.
Well,
I seemed more tired than she did today.
Take the drone away.
Why is she sick?
She won't be in tomorrow.
Yes. But you'll be there.
She said she doesn't feel good. I don't know if I would hang out in the audit room.
We'll be outside all day.
She doesn't feel good. Oh, she
Okay.
looks fine today.
So I'm on the grind to get us up.
She could have got something from Wyatt too.
I said, yeah, Wyatt tends to bring a lot of stuff home from school.
He's sick all the time.
I'll be your sub.
So she might have picked up something from him.
Is Kim in the class?
I mean, the best thing I can think you can do is just tell your friends and beg them / bribe them.
Yeah, it's like
You're both talking at the same time.
she had carpool pickup with all the kids from his school, so also could have been a kid from his school.
I'm trying to talk to our chat.
I'm sorry, Evie, you talk to the chat.
And then I shouldn't be discussing all that.
I mean, I don't know whether our microphone's that sensitive. Potentially, but yeah.
Let's finish up and get out of here.
If she's free, that'd be good.
Try to find some blue blood. We still don't have enough.
Also, like, fancy technology, and we can still open it all with a knife. How humanity has progressed. So here we also see another, like, ability that Marcus had that's kind of special.
Is he converting him?
Mm-hmm.
Like us. Don't you want to be free?
For them.
You control.
Yeah, Evie.
So Marcus can convert other androids into deviants. And wake them up, essentially.
Don't all prototypes have it? Let me not
Yes.
spoil anything then. No,
I
maybe that's
think.
a thing.
But, like, man, just look at this guy. He's like, why am I in a box?
Yeah. Wake up the other June. Oh, sorry.
Well, they do say a little bit later that, like, deviancy is kind of like, it's an idea or a virus, depending on how you want to look at it. It spreads. And she's just like, wow, Messiah figure much?
Yeah, that's like I don't know about the legitimacy of his and North's relationships. I feel like it's hero worship.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later.
Huh.
He's on their side. We can't trust him.
We just converted him, why wouldn't he? I like how she's like, we can't trust them. I'm glad that you just opened up a case and freed 3 random other guys, but that guy, no. I like how she's like, and see?
What do you mean?
Literally.
The trucks.
I was always just iffy on North.
She's too like Edelgard to me.
I don't know anything about Aragorn.
Edelgard is a warlord.
Yeah.
From Fire Emblem.
All I know is that they're from Fire Emblem.
So let's go heisting.
Kill them.
Our bags are full.
Tails on
Let's
them.
go before they
Oh,
catch
yeah.
us.
I'm the best co-host. Thank you.
We can't take that chance. It's too risky. Wait here. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, go without me. Marcus.
I'm coming with you.
No, I'm going alone. It's not worth it for both of us to risk losing our lives.
So, here's something I'm going to just pause for a minute. This is what I was saying about before, when I was saying about, I like all the character stories. The only one that feels a little, like, all of them are very flexible to your choices. The only one that feels a little less flexible is Marcus's cast of NPCs. And we kind of saw that in the scene here. One moment, North likes us for the fact that, like, we freed a bunch of guys and their whole messiah, I brought them to life thing. And then we go and say we want to take John with us, and then she doesn't like us. And then we go say, like, I'm going to go steal the key to give us more parts. And she's like, oh, now I like you again. I'm like, okay, this is a roller coaster of emotions that we're going through in about 10 seconds here.
I feel like she just wants you to make bad choices.
Well, I like that, like, she's like, oh, like, if we get the truck, we get more parts, we have more things for people. Wouldn't it be great? Even though I just said leave behind the guy who told us it was there. Like, if you don't bring John with you, he won't tell you about that.
You should bring him because you just converted him. So
Exactly. It's like, here, hope you like having life and, you know, existential crises and emotions and stuff. Good luck with that. Also, again, if you're gonna go and turn an android into a deviant and be like, hey, I'm going to put so much on your shoulders right now, you shouldn't just leave them. You should be like, okay, I'm going to give you this thing that you maybe didn't want, but at least I'm taking you with me, you know? Because up until now, we've obviously seen a lot of the negative sides of deviancy. Like, some of the deviants get overwhelmed, and some of them have murderous intent. So obviously, those are the ones that we have to put down because they are killing people, you know? That's not good.
It'd be like that.
But we also see, like, the ones that are like, oh, well, I'm just confused by this whole being alive thing. And then we have the other ones who are just like, nope, I'm going to go and, you know, make something of myself. So we have, like, you know, like we see here, like, Josh is obviously the more fearful of the ones. Simon sits squarely in the middle. And he's kind of, you can tell he's the peacemaker. It's why he's kind of in, like, a leadership role before this. And then North is just like, okay, what's the most dangerous option we can do?
Can we get a nuke?
I think we do, actually, at some point.
We do.
I think we do get one. Anyway, we're going to stop speaking because we're just going to spoil the game. Simon likes us going and stealing something, though. That's nice.
Mark.
At least Simon believes in us.
Marcus is the one that came from the old guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Carl.
The, like, artist?
Yes.
Slay.
Slay.
To find a way to deal with the guards. So we got some dogs here.
Wolf.
Chat, I wonder if you could train a dog to go after, like, humans or androids, you know?
Yeah, they could probably smell different. I mean, dogs.
Well, they definitely do.
smell different biochemistry.
We do know that the fact that like androids, for instance, do not have any sort of like smells like a human does, because the only like liquid thing in them is the Ethereum that runs them. So you know, I mean, they have more human like qualities. Okay, I'm going to stop talking for here because I need to look around. Cause a blackout.
Sneaky.
We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to look around first. But there's one other option I think I can do. I need to look for.
Flush the toilet. Drop a bomb, man.
Can you flush a toilet?
That would be funny.
You drop a bomb, man.
Okay, I can lure. That's what I was looking for. I was looking at like, how do I lure? I lure the guards outside. I like that. I the best. The farther away they are from me, the better.
Sneaky.
And we're going super stealth here. Get that key. See, you can't do the short circuit one. That one works. So I'm like, I feel that has a way bigger risk of being caught. Because they'll investigate while you're still in there. At least in this one, like, they investigate and you just slip right in, slip right out.
Did you get it?
You know I did.
Nice.
I like how they can, like, automatically, like, hack into anything because they're also machines. Like, the Android characters are so cool because they have so much they can do. Plus, I feel if we did like actual damage in there, then they would see us, they would notice us, we would leave behind traces that we were there.
Exactly.
I think the distracting them outside is the cleanest option because you better believe in this sort of game, if you leave a trace behind of something, it will come back to bite you.
We stole a whole truckload of biocomponents for everybody.
We couldn't have done it without Marcus.
Correct. I'm the best.
And we brought home John. And they admire me now. And North's my friend now, even though we had this whole roller coaster going on a minute ago.
Androids are free.
Simon likes me too.
Free to live in the dark, hoping that no one finds us. Free to die in silence, waiting for a change that's never gonna come. But I don't want that freedom. And I'm not gonna beg for the right to smile,
That's where you
love,
go.
or stand tall. I don't know about you, but there's something inside me that knows that I am more than what they say. I am alive. And they're not going to take that from me anymore. Our days of slavery are over. What humans don't want to hear, we will tell them. What they don't want to give, we take. We are people. We are alive. We are free.
spitting bars over there, Marcus. Let's freaking go.
I like to think that, like, you know, Carl Tom philosophy and stuff like that, so
No,
he's just like... Because that is the most interesting thing about it, is that there's been deviants for a little while. We know that from Connor's story, that, like, Cyberly says that, like, they've been keeping it hidden for some time, but deviancy is spreading faster now, that's why they're...
They made a deviant tracking android.
Yes, because deviancy has been existing for a little while now. It's existed, actually, because we're going to see this later. A couple years ago, the founder of CyberLife, who we're going to meet later down the line, left. And when he did, CyberLife's management changed. And they went from essentially a place that was like researching just artificial life, and that guy was his whole thing. He's the one who made the RK series. He wanted to push them as far as he possibly could to get as close to real life as possible. Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about that. He, you know, has a lot to do with this whole thing. So CyberLife that's when they started making consumer models. That's when they started, they built the Android industry and economy and all that stuff. But they also noticed as they were mass producing them, there was an odd glitch that started showing up. And for a while, they could contain it. They could put it to isolated instance, but we're coming into the game at a point where it's becoming a noticeable thing. There's a pattern showing deviancy is starting to spread. Like Malin said, that's why they go and they determine that it's enough to allocate a butt ton of money into resources to essentially make a deviant hunter android. Because everything they've tried to do from a human perspective is not working. So what better to catch an android than another android? I mean, there's also the question of, like, well, then... could hypothetically your own problems still come back to bite you in the end?
Like,
but
what if the deviant hunter becomes a deviant?
Well, yeah.
Then he must hunt himself.
I mean, honestly, later in the game, Connor's going to have such an identity crisis.
I liked Connor.
Connor is my favorite. But anyways, I'm actually looking at all the choices we missed, like just from choosing one way or the other.
I wonder what the one was.
So we could have followed Simon. We'll do that next time. Marcus, I apparently can get harmed trying to neutralize the drone because I didn't do that.
I wonder what the one option was where it, like, carried the bottom one, where it carries you a long way to the end.
Probably, me failing and dying.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Since they both went bomb, I'm going to assume that's me dying. Resume search, that's probably going to be us getting caught. Free android, who would leave the androids? Why bother? Refuse, well, we're going to just leave John there. Like, so if we didn't take John, he wouldn't have mentioned the key, we wouldn't have gotten the thing. Control room, obviously, there's a bunch of options for that. I like how the one, like, right here, I'm assuming is the gun path, that it just does not work. And those, yeah, so these ones I assume are us dying. And that's us living.
Slag.
So, we'll continue on. Who are we with now? Connor. Yes, that's right. We left off last time with Hank in a, like, blackout drunk. And so we're actually driving the car this time because he definitely can't. And we're at the Eating Club, which is a strip club for androids. As in the androids.
Where my favorite line comes from.
You sure this is the place?
It's the address in the report.
Right. Okay. Let's get going.
So our whole thing is just to make sure Hank doesn't just pass out in a corner somewhere.
Connor, what the heck are you doing? Come here, Lieutenant.
Like, I think that I like that he's not as much on us this one because he's like barely standing up the whole time because he just came out of being like blackout drunk earlier.
Now I know why you insisted on coming here.
We actually saw an article about the Eating Club in our first investigation. Also, I love the fact that they have the male and female models. That's great. Love some diversity. Different, like... And then that's the one that North is, right there.
Hey, Hank. Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Back room there. Oh, by the way, Gavin's in there too.
Oh, great. Dead body and an asshole. Just what I needed.
Where's my favorite line?
It already comes in a little bit.
What the fuck are you doing?
Coming, Lieutenant.
It's my favorite line. It was on TikTok for a while, and I didn't know it was from this game.
Really?
Yeah, because I hadn't played this game yet. I saw it like a year ago.
We've been assigned all cases involving androids.
Oh yeah? Like wasting time. Some pervert who got more action than he could handle.
We'll have a look anyway, if you don't mind.
Come on, let's go. It's starting to stink of booze.
Night, Lieutenant.
That guy sucks. Why does he kind of look like Josh Peck?
Yeah, Gavin's the worst. He's just a jerk. And like, you have like, Hank has his jerk moments, but he has his reasoning. Gavin's just a jerk because he is a jerk. I like how his explanation is like, nope, even his human colleagues don't really like him.
Just
He's a
sucks,
jerk to humans and androids. Okay, so...
He was asphyxiated.
Yep.
He's dead as hell.
Real.
He's getting his rocks off. Maybe he liked it.
I mean, that's what Gavin's assuming, and since he's an idiot, we know it wasn't that.
He didn't die of a heart attack. He was strangled.
Yeah, I saw the bruising on the neck. Doesn't prove anything, though. Could have been rough play.
See?
We're missing something here.
If you can read the android's memory, if you can see what happened.
I can try.
Oh, hey! Oh, Connor, you're so disgusting. I'm gonna puke again. Wesley says...
The only way to access its memory is to reactivate it.
Think you can do it?
It's badly damaged. If I can, it'll only be for a minute, maybe less. Just hope it's long enough to learn something. You were damaged and I reactivated. Everything is all right.
Is he dead?
Tell me what happened.
He started hitting me. Again. And again.
Did you kill him?
No. No, it wasn't me.
Who killed that man if it wasn't you?
I don't know. I wasn't shut down. I
Alone.
didn't see
Were you
anything.
alone in the room? Was there anyone else with you?
He wanted to play with two girls. That's what he said. There was two of us.
What model was the other android? Did it look like you?
We did learn at least that there was another person in here.
There was another android. This happened over an hour ago. It's probably long gone.
No. It couldn't go outside dressed like that unnoticed. It might still be here.
Think you could find a deviant among all the other androids in this place?
Deviants aren't easily detected.
Slunk away.
Don't kick this over.
Maybe an eyewitness. Somebody who saw it even more. We're gonna go ask the man a few questions about what he saw. You let me know if you think of anything. Did you know the victim?
Came in maybe 2-3 times. I mean, these guys, they don't really talk very much, you know. They come in,
Also, I love that this guy also looks incredibly sleazy. Well, and I want to hear his. That's North. So he's talking about North, who actually who ran away from this place earlier.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. You come here a second?
Found something?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Can you let this Tracy?
For fuck's sake, Connor, we got better things to do.
Please, Lieutenant. Just trust me.
Okay. We're probably getting away with this because he's still, like, somewhat drunk.
This is not gonna look good on my expense account.
Delighted to meet you. Follow me. I'll take you to your room.
Okay, now what?
Now we go boink.
Shit. What the hell are you doing?
Sorry, Lieutenant.
And there's our girl. Headed towards the entrance.
It saw something.
What are you talking about? Saw what?
The deviant leave the room. A blue-haired Tracy. Club policy is to wipe the android's memory every 2 hours. We only have a few minutes if we want to find another witness.
So, we need someone who has a view of it, so let's try this girl.
Hey,
Let's try this one.
this better be.
There's our girl.
It saw the blue-haired Tracy. I know which way it went.
Then go for it.
Yep.
There are androids everywhere. How are you gonna tell which one saw the Tracy with blue hair?
I know which direction it took. I just need to find it.
Other android's path.
The red room. I feel like girls are pole dancing, the guys are just standing there like vaguely shaking their hips every once in a while. I think there's a guy shopping in there.
She went to the blue room next.
Wiener. Bulge check.
You just keep going, dude. You just keep doing that.
He's like vaguely body rolling.
Okay.
Get that guy in that corner. Yeah, let's freaking go.
I also like we're just
Hey,
buying,
buy 1,000 of
we're
these.
buying so many of these. So he was rented out, so he's not going to help us.
Ew.
No.
No.
Get the cleaner.
Spent all this money and I'm still not having fun.
Can I talk to you?
Oh, I wanted you to be able to talk to him.
Do I have to get him from the other side? Well,
Try this guy.
Yeah, let's try this guy. Nope. That guy didn't see it.
Blue-haired Tracy didn't come this way.
She came into the blue room.
Yeah, we know that.
Womp. Neither of those girls saw her either.
Go check. We know she came into this room. The question is, which way did she go? There she is. She hid in a room for a while.
I like how she's got sparkly skin. Ah, that's
Yeah, I know.
scary!
I know. Yeah, that's our girl. Staff only.
I know where it went. Follow me.
Fucking it. This is crazy.
Come on, Hinky Poo.
Did I go the... Oh, did I go the wrong... These rooms all look the same.
No, I think you went the right way. Oh, no, part of this.
Yeah, it went to the staff only thing.
Wait. I'll take it from here.
Okay, Dad.
You're the one with the gun. I just can, like, beat everything to instant submissions with my bare hands, so...
Shit. We're too late.
Okay, so we got Therium over here. Means it passed through here at some point.
Oh, did you see that north model in there?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There we go. Oh, and... Alright.
Get him with your stripper heels.
Dang. We got rid of the screwdriver, that's good. Hank's doing fine. You're doing great, Hank. You got it.
She looks scared.
I think he's doing great for someone who's like, you know, again, drunk in the middle of this.
Quick! They're getting away!
Two against one is not fair.
Olivia, we're not gonna shoot her.
It would have been interesting.
When that man broke the other Tracy, I knew I was next. I was so scared. I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't. And so I put my hands around his throat and I squeezed until he stopped moving. I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted to stay alive. Get back to the one I loved.
We're gay. And our butts are out.
I wanted her to hold me in her arms again. Made me forget about the humans. Their smell of sweat. And their dirty words. Come on. Let's go.
Climb the fence in your superheroes, girl. That's talent.
It's probably better this way.
And that's why we didn't shoot them, because we're trying to get Hank's respect here. Although I like even the little things that, like, that's why, you know, this we get the trophy called Doubts here, but I like even the little things. Connor's like, why didn't I do that? What the heck?
Chips.
So we got most of the stuff here. Yeah, I had an aggressive approach because I was afraid I was gonna run out of time and not figure out that we need to find another girl. So we found the eyewitness. I'm assuming that's if we just don't figure out we run out of time. Pursue the demon. We did find the warehouse. I'm assuming that's again if we ran out of time. Oh, there was a lot more stuff we could investigate in there. Oh well.
Yeah, you found her way faster than I thought you would.
Yeah. I was following the trail, and I thought there was going to be something else besides this. Oh, never mind, there she is! Cool! I'm guessing that is just we don't find her, or, like, they get away. I mean, that could also potentially be me being stabbed in the face with a screwdriver, but, you know, who knows.
Close, dog.
I've missed at least one button prompt in every QuickTime event so far, but so far it's not been, like, in a row, so the worst I've ever done is trying to get Kara across the highway. I'm trying to keep Connor alive, but there are a couple where I'm like, okay, which side is that? Win fight. I'm guessing the other option is I get stabbed with a screwdriver again.
And die.
And then obviously that one's, I like how Deviant's Escape is also an option if you get, like, again, stabbed. I wonder if you can die in this level or not.
Probably.
It'd be embarrassing if you got, again, killed by
Connor can die in every level.
Yeah. Connor is on one hand the most indestructible character in this game. Because he has so many places he can die. But at the same time, he's also, like, the most difficult to kill, so... Just because he's, again, police android, meant to take a beating, so, he's pretty capable even when he's damaged. I mean, they show that in the very thing because he gets shot in the arm and just keeps going.
Dang, that's crazy.
I'm like, we're gonna show how this guy's boss right now. Opening segment. So yeah, we chose to spare her because, again, we're doing that whole grappling with humanity thing, and because we want Hank to like us. So, yeah. Even though Olivia over here wants to kill the girl,
Olivia literally said
she murdered someone
who was abusing her, and
she said she was trying to knock him out. It just happened to be that asphyxiating him caused him to have a heart attack. Because he had bad... I think another one of the clues is that you can see there's red ice around. So, the guy also was kind of fat, so let's be honest. He was not...
Okay.
He was not in the best of health. So, it's, you know, she probably didn't mean to kill him. She's probably correct. She probably just wanted to knock him out so she could get away and then, like, pass it off as, you know, oh, well, he just got too rough during the thing. Although, I will admit, the one thing I was so worried about the time, like, I missed one of my favorite interactions in the game.
What was that?
So, I'll just say it because it'll be a while before we get back around to this. We might do another playthrough of this game depending on how things go. So, after you have Hank rent the first Tracy, and... you know, she's trying to take him to a room, and Connor's like, okay, I got the scent now, I'm out going after the things, and he's like, well, what do I do with her? And he's like, just tell her that you changed your mind, and she'll go back to her, like, stasis mode. And so he does, but of course Hank being, like, you know, still a human who interacts with humans, like, in a very, like, somewhat trying to be a decent person way. So he's like, you know, hey, I changed my mind. Nothing personal. I mean, you're a lovely girl. You know, I'm with him. Wait, no, I'm not with him in that way. And then he's like, and then he just kind of fumbles over himself. He's like, you know what? Just forget it. And you can't stand still to listen to that dialogue. But I didn't know where to go. I'm not as familiar with this area, like what I had to look at. So like, if you know which ones to go through, you can go through it pretty quickly. But I didn't want to miss any of the things, so I was like, I was immediately off, and I was like, okay, we're hunting now. That's where we also see a couple of other interesting android powers we got here, because, like, you know, Marcus, we see, like, they have their whole telepathy thing, and he has the ability to, like, convert androids, and their whole, like, probing thing that they can do, and, like, Connor can go and look inside all of their different memories and do his, like, whole connection thing in order to see what's going on here. Again, make them both incredibly capable. And now we're going back with Kara.
Kara's probably the
who,
just is boring.
I like Kara because I like Luther.
I like Kara's story a lot.
I really like Luther. I just think Kara's kind of boring.
That's what she's meant to be, a mom character. I would say, like, I don't dislike Marcus's. I just think it's boring because his is a lot about, almost like Fire Emblem-esque. It's a lot about, like,
Messiah.
Political stuff. No, it's more about, like, he's almost like a politician.
Well, the reason I like Kara is better than I personally like, Marcus is because, like I said before. That's me. That's Russia and America fighting over the Arctic. But it also has to do with the fact that come on. Also has to do with the fact that like I told you before, Marcus's NPC characters are less consistent than the other two paths.
I think that's probably why.
That's why I like all three of them, but I rank his lower is because Kara's path will change if you make different choices. Connor's path will really change if you make different choices. Marcus's path, you'll make choices and he'll change, but his NPCs kind of stay the same regardless. And that's the one thing that I think in a choice-based game, everyone should change a little bit. Like, you know, we do things that Marth likes, and then she hates us, and then she likes us, and then she hates us again, and, you know, that sort of stuff.
These people we're going to see, how do you know about them?
Overheard androids Laco captured. They said they were humans helping androids across the border.
What if it was a lie? Or just another trap?
All I know is those androids believed it. Until Laco killed them.
Lovely.
Is it much farther?
We should arrive in an hour or so.
Malfunction detected. Emergency brakes activated.
This doesn't look good.
Why'd they pull over?
The engine's overheating. Also, I love the, like, swivel chairs. That's so cool.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Continue on foot, I guess.
It's 30 degrees. Alice won't make it. We have to find somewhere to spend the night.
There's nowhere we can stay around here, Carol.
Stay in the car.
Well,
That's all I'm saying. Why don't they just stay in the car?
Because the car's gonna get cold.
Can't the engine, like, stay in auxiliary mode?
No, that's the
engine
whole
will
point.
Cool off, and then they should be able to use again.
It's better than wandering around Pirates Cove in the snow.
I want to go to Fox's Pirate Cove.
Fox's Pirate Cove.
I'm going to Five Nights at Freddy's.
She's got a flashlight now? Alright.
Where'd you get a flashlight from?
Oh.
Her, like, palm, like Iron Man.
Yeah, probably from they grabbed it from the car, because they grabbed Alice from the car too, so.
Come on, child. Come outside into the snow.
Abandoned amusement park. And because it's at night and it's in the snow, it looks 10 times more creepy.
Shelter. We have to get out of the cold.
Looks like it's been abandoned for a while. Find anything?
No. No place we could spend the night.
Danger always comes when least expected.
That's me waking Olivia.
Don't you love when a fortune teller gives you something ominous like that?
Yeah, right. Why can't it be like, beware! You will get half off at Target tomorrow.
I mean, to be fair, we are in a pirate themed place, so he has a skull on his face. We should have seen that one coming.
Oh, poor guy.
Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time. Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time.
Isn't that so? So this is an abandoned theme park, and they just left the androids behind.
Isn't that nuts?
That's just
It's very sad.
yeah. No other word for it. This place. I like how many eras. Like, there's a lot of action and danger in the other two paths. Cars just makes me sad most of the time. Just like, wow, that sucks. Okay, we already tried those 3 places. Let's keep going forward then, I guess.
This place is falling apart. It's not gonna be easy to find shelter.
Yeah, let the guy who's like 7 feet tall deal with the planks of wood. I like how we try and pull at it and it jolts a little bit, and he's just like, and off, and off, and off.
Here we go.
I don't think we'll find anything better. Let's settle in for the night.
The car would have been better.
It, again, would have gone cold after a while.
In your opinion.
Yep, that's what we need him for. Androids, K-pop idols.
Let's freaking go.
Definitely what we need. That's if we have androids, that's definitely the most important thing to make them for.
You know.
Boy bands.
That's what I'm saying.
I really linger on a frame like that too long. I'm afraid that it's missing something.
I'll make the fire here. That way we won't be smoked out.
What if I want to be smoked out?
Yeah.
Let's freaking go.
We got a gun.
Nice. Where did we get a gun from?
Oh no, Luther brought it, I guess.
He's always prepared.
I still think he should have taken the shotgun with him.
I know.
Do you think we'll be like them someday?
Yes.
I don't know how to be like them, Alice. I've never been a part of a family. But maybe we can be our own family. Be happy in our own way.
As long as we're together, that's all that matters.
Come on. Let's get you to bed. Don't worry. Luther and I will be right here. We need to get some sleep now.
Can you tell me a story, Kara?
I have 9,000 children's stories in memory. I should have one for you. This is a story about a princess who...
No, not a story like that. Make one up for me.
This is a story about a little girl who lived alone in a big old house. She dreamed of being like all the other little girls, but she was different. And that made her very sad. Then she met a robot who was just as lost as the little girl. So they decided to run away together to find a place where they could be safe. They encountered great dangers along the way, but they stuck together. So they overcame all of them. Along the way, they met another robot who left his master to become their guardian.
How does the story end?
Happy ending.
They reach the place they dream of and live happily ever after.
Stories always have happy endings.
What am I painting right now? Let me go get it from you. I'll show you.
Like that.
Time to sleep. We have another long day ahead of us tomorrow.
She's doing Persona 5.
Come say goodnight, Luther.
It's hard to see because I haven't done like the backing. Well,
Try and put it in front of my face. That's where the camera is.
let me get a different piece of paper. You can't see because there's no backing on it yet. I have like no plain pieces of paper.
Look at us, sweet little family unit.
There he is. It's in the process. I just put his hair down. While we were watching Connor's story, like, his hair dried a little bit, and I was like, yikes, I'm not finished! So I had to go back. Yup. Working on Akechi from Persona 5. Give yourself a look.
She's a sweet girl.
Thanks.
She's very brave. Do you know what you're going to do when you reach Canada?
I really thought about it. Never been free before. Free. I like the sound of it. I don't know what it really means yet. ever noticed anything about Alice?
Yes. Yes.
No, what are you talking about?
Zombies.
Zambs.
It's all the park workers. Oh yeah, we protect Alice first. Luther's got us. We're protecting Alice.
I mean, I just want to be warm, really.
Question.
Who are you? What do you want? Leave us alone!
Don't be afraid. We don't want to hurt you. We're just like you. Our name is Jerry. We were working here before the park closed. We didn't mean to frighten you, but sometimes humans come to hurt us, so we wanted to see who was there. What are you doing here?
We were looking for shelter for the night. We'll be gone tomorrow.
A little girl. We haven't seen one for a long time. Children used to love to come and see us. She looks sad.
The last few days have been difficult.
We have something to show her. Something fun. She'll love it. Does she want to see?
Oh, I don't think she's in it.
She should follow us then.
Alice, I don't know if it's a good idea.
I like how they're like.
Trust them blindly.
I mean, to be fair, these are androids that are literally made to like, cater to kids. That would be probably a really cool theme park. Cause it could be like Disneyland; they'll just never break character.
Really?
Be our guest.
I think the Jerrys are cool. I like them. They're sweet.
The little one can climb on board. The carousel is about to begin.
And also, this is what they're made for, so, like, the fact they're actually able to do what they, like... Because, while there are a lot of androids that are like, oh, I'm gonna go do something else, a lot of them also, I imagine, would be like, I like what I do. I like my job.
You kind of enjoy my job.
I just want to keep doing that. I also like watching all the Jerrys just watching. They all look just so happy watching her do that.
Luther, get on a seahorse. Come on, buddy, let's freaking go.
It's the first time I've seen her smile.
I was just about to say that.
She hasn't had much to smile about lately.
And listen, you can hear Cara's theme in the background. It's so pretty.
I swear I had more cranes.
We will protect that smile. To the best of our abilities.
That's a fast chapter.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know why.
Why?
That's actually not the full original chapter. I'm just seeing what our options are here. So there's one other option we didn't see in the fair. And obviously there's different options we had. Oh, there's more we can investigate in the tavern? Alright, well. Whoops. And obviously there's different things for the Alice story. So, originally this chapter did not end that way. And this is actually still in still in the game's file, so some people have restored it. So originally the chapter happens where you have the carousel moment, and there's actually different like artifacts of the original ending in this chapter. So what happens in the original is that a bunch of teenage hillbillies essentially come in on a truck and start shooting the Jerrys with guns, because that's their like kind of fun, crazy, hillbilly thing they do. And so you have to grab Alice and run. And, there's the option of, like, Luther could die here, Alice could die here, Cara could die, because they're kids with guns. But if you grab, that's why the gun's there. That's why the gun thing in Luther's backpack is there, because if you grab the gun early, before the confrontation and you have the gun on you, you can threaten the kids with the gun, and they're a bunch of teenagers, so of course they buckle very easily under pressure. And they're like, oh, we just want to shoot the Jerrys. We do it all the time. They don't really matter. And they don't know Kara, of course, is a android. They don't know that. I mean, they could tell Luther is, but, like, they wouldn't be able to tell Kara is an android. But, like, so the original ending was that, like, so you go and you either die there, or, like, you know, you wait until they're gone, or you scare the guys off. Point is, at the end of it, though, you're sitting in the middle of a snowstorm with Alice, and hopefully Luther, he survived, with a bunch of dead Jerrys around you.
That sounds awful. This one's way better.
So, that original ending on playtesting, no one liked it. It felt like it felt like Kara's. It also made Kara's story just really intense, because all of her chapters, like I said, have a very depressive, heavy ending. So, this is why. So they cut it short here because they're like, you know what? She deserves a break. They deserve a win. They deserve a moment of peace before they're about to go into, again, a couple of very tense chapters going forward. So that's why the gun's still there. Like, it doesn't serve any purpose in the story. You can throw in the Jerrys with it, but you don't actually use it. But that's why it's still there. It's a artifact of that original ending. And the original ending is still in the game, so some people have restored it to see it, and it is sad. Because, again, you see these Jerrys who are just trying to help you, and they're trying to help you run. And the guys are just killing them. They're just shooting them, like, for sport. They come to the...
That make me mad depressed.
But
I'm
that's
already pretty mad.
But that's also why the Jerrys say when they break into... It also makes the Jerrys' behavior make a little bit more sense when they bust into the mansion. It's because they thought you were humans, and they're used to having to defend themselves because humans come into the park and just randomly... No, and they just randomly would shoot them up. So that's what they say when the humans hurt us. That's what was going to allude to, was that later in the chapter, then you're going to see the humans who hurt them. And who shoot them up. So there are a couple of artifacts of that original ending here, but this obviously I think is a way better ending. Because again, it's a moment of emotional levity when, again, things are just going to keep getting deeper and darker as we go. And, you know, Darkest Before the Dawn and all that.
Kara's story is, pretty dark.
Yeah.
Child abuse.
Kara's story is just, you know, it's in the
got a
feels.
story, dog.
It is usually in the feels. So, yeah. So, but that was the original thing for that. And, yeah, that's what I thought. We're going to the second half of Connor's chapter. So now we're going to go... This is after the eating club. Hank has his death metal on. Or whatever it is that he listens to. Okay, well, he's over there sitting contemplating life, so we're going to go talk to him. Because that seems like the right thing to do in this circumstance. Oh, was there... I thought I had to go around the gate. Do I have to go this way? I can't tell where these wire fences are. I know I can literally, like, hop on a train in parkour mode, but in these, like, when I'm in, like, civilian mode, I have to walk around things. Also, I just like how, like, the snow is just, like, collecting on his jacket and stuff like that. I love that. Little details.
Little things, yeah.
Nice view, huh? I used to come here a lot before.
And he's drinking again. Great.
Before what? You said, I used to come here a lot before. Before what?
Before nothing.
Can I ask you a personal question, Lieutenant?
Do all androids ask so many personal questions? Or is it just you?
I saw a photo of a child on your kitchen table. It was your son, right?
Yeah. His name was Cole.
So I like the little things that, like, you know, Kara, we know he doesn't get cold. You know, he's an android. But I like how he's, like, mimicking, like, how a human would behave, because that's his whole thing, is that he has, like, the advanced social programming. So it's things that make him seem more human.
Have nothing in common. They're all different models, produced at different times, in different places.
Well, there must be some link.
have in common is this obsession with RA9. It's almost like some kind of myth. Something they invented that wasn't part of their original program.
Androids believing in God. Fuck, what's this world coming to?
You seem preoccupied, Lieutenant. Is it something to do with what happened back at the Eden Club?
Those two girls. They just wanted to be together. They really seemed in love.
They didn't want anything. They're deviants. End of story.
Because remember, Connor's still not, you know, like
He's still
processing emotions like the others.
Yeah.
You look human.
But he's starting to toe into it.
But what are you really?
I'm whatever you want me to be, Lieutenant. Your partner? Your buddy to drink with? Or just a machine? Designed to accomplish a task.
You could have shot those two girls, but you didn't. Why didn't you shoot Connor? Some scruple suddenly enter into your program?
No. I just decided not to shoot. That's all.
You see, he gets a little bit more jumpy here, so, like, you can tell there's something going on there. It's not there yet, but there's something going on there.
Really? You're sitting right in front of me. Not alive.
I would certainly find it regrettable to be interrupted before I can finish this investigation.
What'll happen if I pull this trigger? Nothing? Oblivion? Android heaven?
I doubt there's a heaven for androids.
Having existential doubts, Connor? Sure you're not going deviant too?
I self-test regularly. I know what I am and what I am not. Where are you going?
Get drunker. I need to think.
So this is an interesting one, because this is where people get Connor killed a lot.
Really?
Because
He can get killed here for real? I thought
Yeah.
that gun was just fake.
No, it's real. That's the whole. But look at what we have here for our options. So first of all, I mean, you know, there's just don't get out of the car is a funny one. We could discuss also his suicide tendencies. But you see, I chose in here to show fear. Essentially, the fear of death, the fear of doing something wrong, and that placated him because because that's the thing that essentially saves us in the way. He sees humanity in this robot, and that's why he can't pull the trigger. However, if you are aggressive, if you're cold and calculating, then he'll just shoot you. Because at this point, he's very drunk. He's looking for a reaction. He's angry and trying to get some sort of satisfaction out of it. So if you just rebuff him, if you're aggressive towards him, or if you show that you are just an unfeeling machine, then he has no qualms with shooting you. And that happens to a lot of people in this point.
Really?
Of a lot of playthroughs I watched, a good amount of them get shot here, even if they are on good terms with Hank, and some of them aren't. Some people
What does Hank say afterwards if they do that?
He doesn't say anything. He just sits back down on the bench and keeps drinking.
No, like when he becomes sober again.
Oh, afterwards, I think it's something to the effect of Connor's like, "Why did you shoot me last night?" And he's like, "Well, you're fine now, aren't you?" And they just leave it at that. If that was the first time getting Connor killed, then obviously Hank's a little bit more apologetic about it because he's like, "Okay, I was drunk." But if you got Connor killed before this point, then he's just like, whatever." Essentially, if he sees you keep coming back, then that only reinforces that you are just a mindless machine. But that's why I was saying, again, like Mallory pointed out, Connor's still very machine-like at this point. We've done a lot. We've got a lot of moral choices.
It's hard to remember because with Marcus and Kara's path, they're both deviants. Versus, we have to remember, Hank's the human aspect in this playthrough, but Connor is still very much a robot.
Yeah.
Versus, like, Kara and Marcus are the more human-like person with the robots around them.
Yeah.
It's the opposite there.
So that's very true. Kara and Marcus, they become deviant very early in their story, so theirs is all about finding their humanity. However, that's why I think Connor's story is the strongest out of the three of them, because the humanity for the majority of the story, and also is that his has like a very meaningful back and forth with Hank. I mean, none of the rest of them have someone who's either like, everyone else has people who are like below them in their status. Like Kara, she has Luther and Alice, but they're still kind of like below her in a way. Not in a bad way, but just like they're answering to what she says. Marcus is definitely that way. He's going to be seen like a sort of messiah figure. You already kind of see that. So everyone's kind of like, they'll oppose him on certain things, but mostly they'll be like, whatever you say. Connor's is the difference because this is the only one where there's a power imbalance. He's ultimately subservient to whatever Hank and honestly any of the other police officers, any of the other humans say. And while he does have a mind of his own, we can see obviously even in the first case that he will do what he wants to do, which is why what ticks Hank off a lot in the beginning, is that he's not like a normal android that will just listen and do things. Because of his programming, he will go and do what he thinks he needs to do in order to accomplish his mission. But like, that's the thing that's most interesting about them is, like, as we see in here, we see slowly Hank is softening up more. He's warming up to us, and we're seeing more of his humanity. And like he's saying, like, he's not sure about this right now. You know, they've been hunting deviants because they're dangerous, but these two deviants that you saw, these two girls, he's like, you know, I know what love is, and they were definitely in love. How do I reconcile this? And again, like, you know, he's not exactly in a stable enough mental or emotional place to do that, so he's just drinking more to not think about that right now. Until Connor comes over and is like, hey, you want to talk about this thing? Want me to poke it a couple times? Hey, the stick?
Want to go to therapy?
Oh, if you go mention the drinking thing to him, I think he just chews you out. That's why I didn't mention that. But I'm like, let's, I do want to mention the other things. Like, we saw the picture on his table and, you know, so we talked about that. But that's the thing that I think is most interesting here is that Hank's starting to like, again, he's had this very firm line in his mind between the android and the human, and now it's starting to blur. Because now he's like, well, those deviants seemed very human-like to me. And he's even getting confused by his own partner, who's, again, like he says, you look human, you sound human, but what are you, exactly? And, you know, Connor's still responding very machine-like, and, you know, just with whatever he's programmed to say. But that's why you see the little cracks starting to show. For instance, like, in this case, like, when Hank starts threatening him and being like, hey, are you going deviant too? Because you didn't like, you should have killed those two, and you didn't. Why not? And, you know, and Connor doesn't have a reason. He doesn't know. But, like, you see that in the fact that, like, he always answers everything so evenly, all, like, programmed and prepared. That's the first time you see him, like, stutter. You see him, like, back up. You see a moment of, like, fear, which is what we know usually starts a lot of deviancy. Is it usually starts with a single strong gut emotion, like fear. And so that's when we're starting, so that, like, those little cracks are starting to show. Again, Connor's still very machine-like here. He's still saying what he's supposed to be, what he's programmed to do. He's not thinking really for himself yet. But you see those little moments where he's starting to think a little bit. He's starting to feel a little bit. And those things are what that's weirding Hank out. And so that's why he's like, he's pushing. That's I honestly think is why he's kind of being so aggressive towards Connor here, even if you're friends with him at this point. Is that he's looking for a reaction. He's looking, you know, on one hand, he wants to be satisfied by, I'm angry and I want you to react, because if someone's angry to you and you just don't meet them there, then sometimes this makes them more angry. Mm-hmm. But I think he's also looking for reaction, be like, hey, is there anything going on in there? You know, I feel okay mistreating you if you're just a machine, but if there's anything in there that's, like, alive, that changes everything, you know? So that's something Hank's going to grapple with here. And also, that's the thing, is that, like, there's something to be said for his question he asks Connor. In the fact that, like, are you afraid to die? What happens after we die? When we know in just the previous chapter, Hank was playing Russian roulette while very drunk, you know?
With a real gun!
He's trying to burn himself out, you know? And, you know, I think that's in some ways a question, like, what is there after this? And he's kind of asking that and almost, like, searching for that. And, you know, Connor doesn't know, obviously. He doesn't have anything to say on the matter. But, like, I feel like in some ways he's not asking really Connor that. He's almost asking himself that. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I think is interesting about their dynamic. In some ways, even when Connor's being very machine-like and they don't have a lot of relationship, there's a lot of reflection going on there. And I think that has to do with, like, you know, Hank's former career, where he used to be in life, and he's seeing some of that. With having just, android or not, this is a young upstart partner he has right now. So, who honestly is just as stubborn as he is. So, their dynamic is so fascinating. That's why I love it. That's why it's my favorite in the game. And now we're really starting to cook with gas here. Just like they're starting to get some very interesting interactions here. So yeah, we ultimately appease Hank by essentially showing some form of emotion, and he backs down and is off to drink somewhere so he doesn't have any more existential crises for tonight. So, but I like the little things I like in there, like the fact that, like, again, the tiny things, like Connor's like holding his arms the whole time, like, again, a human who is cold would do. He's not, but it's something he's doing to.
When it's in like in body language, it could be cold or it could be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you're holding yourself as a form of comfort. You're distancing yourself from the other person. So it's another thing where it could be cold.
That's a good point.
It could be, you know, it's something where you're guarding yourself from.
I do think it is initially he's simulating being cold because, again, you see Hank doing the same thing, like he's holding his arms. But I think it does definitely, it could definitely grow into that I'm uncomfortable mode.
But I think it was him as a, as a negotiator android, that's also mirroring body posture is a way to like kind of get into a conversation if you're mirroring their posture. So I think a lot of that is he's,
I think that's
doing what he's trained to do.
And that's another thing that's an interesting thing, which is why it's so hard. Like, all the other androids, when they go deviant, it's a pretty obvious shift. It's hard to tell with Connor because of what he's programmed to do. He's the most advanced, like, social program that exists. He's a negotiator. His whole thing is being able to control his emotional state and predict the emotional state of others in order to calm them down. Or get the proper response he wants. You know, which, again, is a little scary. A little freaky that CyberLife made something that does that, but it's also the thing that where it's like it's hard to tell, is there something going on in there? Is he feeling things or not? Is that just his programming mimicking emotions? You know, how do you tell the defining line? That's what makes his story interesting, in my opinion, because the other two, it's pretty clear. They're on their own paths of discovery, they're on their own paths to become human, but they always know that they are feeling something, they are alive. We know that from the get-go. Connor's the only one that's kind of the gray area for the majority of the game, and I think that's what makes his story so fascinating. So anyway, it's about, I think, 11 o'clock, yeah. So we got through a couple of chapters. I can
play this game forever.
I honestly could, I thought.
To be lead teacher tomorrow, so if I didn't, then I'd be like, let's go, because tomorrow's an easy day, but.
I mean, I normally go to bed at 10, and this is a game that I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. But anyway, we're back to Marcus's story, so we'll pick up with, I think ending on Marcus's story is good, because that was the easiest one to slide into, especially if Madeline has something to talk about from preschool. So anyway, thank you for everyone for attending for tonight. We'll pick up again with Marcus's story next Tuesday, and I will finally be freed from grad school.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, finishing my classes off tomorrow. So glad for that to be over. I really enjoyed one of my classes, not so much the other one. I'll just be glad to not have to do that anymore. And then we put more effort into this. We put more effort into our Etsy store, to our craft exploits.
I'm so excited to do that.
Lots of stuff that we've been thinking about that, you know, we're going to have, hopefully, more time to do. Yeah. So this was fun. Loving this game. It's, again, we've already seen the whole thing, and we're still enjoying it so much. So, yeah, I will. I actually, as soon as I finish my assignments tomorrow, my self-care is I'm going to go and crochet. I have a project I'm working on. I'm going to go crochet for a little bit and listen to music. So, yeah, so we'll be back Tuesday. Try to keep hitting around edge on the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, but this is a game we can easily play for a while.
This is an easy game to play, and as of right now, May is just so crazy with school, so it's been working great for us.
Yeah, so I'm glad we started playing this game. It's really honestly been pulling me through these last couple of weeks of classes.
Good recommendation, Meredith.
So yeah, you know, thumbs up to Meredith in chat. But so we'll be back Tuesday, and we'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining us. We always enjoy having you.